Marjorie Taylor Greene cannot do anything right. She just made a total fool of herself after she tried to make a snarky tweet but got simple facts about American history wrong. I can't tell if Marjorie Taylor Greene is a real person or just a social experiment that we've all fallen for sometimes. But she tweeted out, the average age of the signers of the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776 was 44 years old, but more than a dozen were 35 or younger. Marjorie then lists a bunch of names of people she thinks signed the Declaration of Independence, names like Thomas Jefferson, John Hancock, James Madison, Alexander Hamilton, James Monroe, Aaron Burr, but the problem is the vast majority of the names on this list, these weren't people that signed the Declaration of Independence. The Twitter fact checker said James Madison, Alexander Hamilton, James Monroe, Aaron Burr, Paul Revere, and George Washington were not signers of the Declaration of Independence. And this tweet went absolutely viral. It got almost 3 million views. Somehow it got 10,000 likes, but it got as many replies as it did likes because people were just railing on Marjorie Taylor Greene. MeidasTouch on Twitter said, absolutely humiliating community note for Marjorie Taylor Greene. Ryan Sheed said, this tweet by itself should disqualify Marjorie Taylor Greene from public office. At Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene couldn't pass the civics test that immigrants must to become citizens. Love the fact check. And there's more to the story, but I just want to say this proves, taking a step back, beyond this proving that Marjorie Taylor Greene is an idiot, it proves that Republicans don't even know the fundamentals of what they're talking about and what they claim to want to uphold. For example, Republicans claim to love the Constitution. They want to uphold the Constitution, yet they champion the man who wanted to terminate the rules and laws in the Constitution. They champion the man who wanted people who burn the flag to lose their citizenship, and that falls under our First Amendment rights. And now they champion the lady who doesn't even know who signed the Declaration of Independence and who didn't. They champion these people who champion the Constitution without knowing any of the fundamental facts, and that is what is scary. People like Marjorie Taylor Greene have bluffed their way through their entire careers, acting like they know stuff, using vague, empty rhetoric without actually knowing the facts of the situation. I could also point out the obvious that people like Marjorie Taylor Greene want to defund the Department of Education and are always launching attacks on our schools and our teachers, yet she doesn't even know the basic facts of our democracy, of how we got here. But this article points out some other times that Marjorie Taylor Greene has lied, and then highlights that she is now being challenged by a Democrat in her district. So this says, earlier in June, Marjorie said that Dr. Anthony Fauci should be prosecuted for crimes against humanity for his role in the U.S. government's response to the COVID-19 pandemic. In May, she said the FBI intended to assassinate Donald Trump when it raided his Florida home in August of 2022. Those were just two lies she's told in the past few months. In 2018, she suggested that the Rothschilds, a wealthy Jewish banking family frequently referred to in anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, were involved in a profit-making plot to use space lasers to start wildfires in California. She returned to the subject of space lasers in April, suggesting that the U.S. government should deploy Israeli, quote, space lasers at the Mexico border to stop illegal immigration. Greene has also repeatedly expressed skepticism about the U.S. Capitol riot on January 6th of 2021 and has routinely touted conspiracy theories and misinformation about the 2020 election. She describes the inmates being held at a Washington, D.C. jail as political prisoners of war. But we all already know how crazy Marjorie Taylor Greene is. What's important is now removing her from office, taking her down in her next election. This article reads, Marjorie Taylor Greene's rival reveals path to take her down. Shawn Harris, the 40-year-old military veteran who is hoping to unseat Marjorie Taylor Greene, a Georgia Republican in November's election, has told Newsweek he believes he can achieve victory based on a coalition that incorporates moderate Republicans and women voters. So Shawn Harris is trying to build a big tent coalition full of moderates and women voters. Meanwhile, Marjorie Taylor Greene is being divisive on Twitter and attacking women like Kamala Harris. Marjorie said, never forget, Kamala shared a link asking for donations to bail out criminal rioters that violently burned, looted, attacked police, destroyed property estimated at $2 billion in damages, and caused complete chaos in American city streets in the summer of 2020. First of all, Kamala and Joe Biden disavowed violent protesters in 2020 multiple times. They said all of the violence they disavow, even if they support the core message of BLM. Kamala Harris said that multiple times. So this idea that she supported people burning down buildings is not true, and she was trying to bail out non-violent offenders. She wasn't trying to bail out people who burned stuff down. She was bailing out people who were participating in protests and were arrested unjustly. Marjorie Taylor Greene is lying. She has no trouble lying. She has no trouble supporting the man who constantly lies. She then says all January 6th complaints by the Democrats go out the window if she becomes the Democrats' presidential candidate. But again, the BLM protests, majority peaceful, were not led by Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. In fact, again, they disavowed the protests whenever they turned into riots. Donald Trump is the one. He was the figure who spearheaded the January 6th attacks on the Capitol because of his lie that the election was stolen, because he insisted on holding a rally right next to the Capitol. But back to Marjorie's opponent, Harris, who told Newsweek, quote, more and more Democrats, obviously, but specifically more and more Republicans are starting to say more openly that they are now tired of Marjorie Taylor Greene and are looking for something different. That is the way we're going to win, he said, quote, but it's not just going to be Republicans, it's going to be women, because Marjorie Taylor Greene, she is in a fight with women, and I believe women are going to come out in great numbers. Referring to moderate Republicans, Harris added, quote, they may say as a Republican, I just can't vote for a Democrat. No problem. But guess what they're going to do? They're going to skip the line. They're not going to vote for me, and they're not going to vote for Marjorie Taylor Greene, and that's when you're going to start seeing those numbers actually change over. Now, Harris claims that his opponent, Marjorie Taylor Greene, is incredibly unpopular in the district after trying to oust Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, but I have been to Rome, Georgia. A lot of those people just go whatever way Donald Trump takes them, and right now he says that Marjorie Taylor Greene deserves to win again, so most MAGA Republicans will unfortunately fall in line and support Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she is reciprocating the love. She tweeted out just yesterday, good morning, and it's one of Donald Trump's all-caps manic tweets where he says, every one of the lawsuits I am involved with, including the civil scams, were started by crooked Joe Biden and his fascist government for purposes of election interference. So somehow Joe Biden is almost senile. He has dementia and he's near death, but he's also orchestrating a trial against Donald Trump and leaving no trace whatsoever. Also, why does Marjorie Taylor Greene amplify Donald Trump's most manic all-caps tweets? I mean, it's good for us. Of course, we want voters to see him being crazy on Truth Social, because something I've realized is that the average apolitical, undecided voter isn't even aware of Donald Trump's craziest Truth Social posts because they just don't penetrate. So to us, when Donald Trump says he's going to terminate the rules and laws in the Constitution, it's the craziest thing ever, and it should be, but most voters don't see Donald Trump's Truth Social posts, and he knows that. They just see him up on the debate stage or sometimes giving speeches at rallies, so it's just weird that Marjorie Taylor Greene decides to boost these manic Truth Social posts. But either way, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, comment a blue heart, go join the Mockler subreddit in the description below and Discord. Make sure you have a great day, and see you.